Under the grey autumn skies of Pyongyang, the runway of Sunan International Airport transforms into a stage of political theatre. A red carpet stretches toward a waiting delegation as the Chinese Air Force jet bearing the insignia of the People's Republic taxis to a halt. The arrival marks a rare and carefully choreographed moment, Chinese Premier Li Qiang setting foot in North Korea for celebrations marking the 85th anniversary of the ruling Workers' Party. Soldiers stand in perfect formation, their olive uniforms crisp, faces expressionless. The plane's door opens. Li Qiang emerges, waving calmly, his smile firm but measured, a practiced display of warmth and authority. On the tarmac waiting is Pak Tae-song, North Korea's premier, hand extended. Cameras flash. Behind them, a sea of flags, red, blue and gold, ripple in the cold Pyongyang wind. Chinese and North Korean banners flutter side by side, an unmistakable signal of solidarity between two countries bound by both ideology and necessity. As the crowd erupts in cheers, Li Qiang walks down the staircase to the sound of a military band. For the citizens gathered, many dressed in traditional hanbok and waving miniature flags, the arrival represents more than diplomacy. It's a moment of reassurance. China, North Korea's most powerful ally, has come to reaffirm friendship at a time of growing global isolation for Pyongyang. The two premiers exchange formal greetings. Pak Tae-song's words are brief but pointed. We welcome our brother from Beijing, our closest partner in the march towards socialism. The crowd responds with thunderous applause. Behind the smiles and salutes, both sides understand the deeper meaning. This anniversary is not merely about history, it's about survival. Li Qiang's presence in Pyongyang signals more than celebration. It's a calculated gesture of strategic partnership amid shifting regional power balances. China's backing remains crucial as North Korea faces tightening sanctions, food shortages, and heightened military pressure from the United States and South Korea. The welcome ceremony unfolds with military precision. Soldiers present arms as the two premiers review the Guard of Honor, their steps synchronized to the beat of the parade drum. Behind them, a massive banner reads in Korean, "Eternal friendship between China and the DPRK." The choreography of loyalty is unmistakable. As the camera pans across the crowd, the Chinese and North Korean flags appear in unison, a visual reminder of a bond first forged in the fires of the Korean War. At the Friendship Tower, a monument dedicated to the Chinese soldiers who died fighting for North Korea's independence, the symbolism deepens. The camera zooms out, showing the imposing structure, white marble against the autumn sky, carved inscriptions proclaiming eternal gratitude. For Pyongyang, this anniversary serves multiple purposes. It's a showcase of internal strength, a reassurance to its citizens that the regime remains steadfast, and a signal to the world that North Korea is not alone. For China, it's a diplomatic balancing act, maintaining influence over its unpredictable neighbor, while avoiding confrontation with Washington and Seoul. Over the next few days, North Korea is expected to stage a massive military parade, featuring its latest missiles, drones, and possibly the debut of new hypersonic weapons. Analysts believe this is Kim Jong-un's way of demonstrating progress despite sanctions, a public declaration that his government's technological and military ambitions are advancing unhindered. While the official footage remains muted, the imagery tells its own story. Rows of missile launchers roll past the reviewing stand. Soldiers chant slogans about national unity. Banners call for victory against imperialism. The message is clear. The Workers' Party, now in its 8th decade, sees its power as both divine and unbroken. Behind closed doors, however, the diplomatic agenda between Beijing and Pyongyang is far from ceremonial. According to regional experts, discussions are expected to cover energy cooperation, border trade, and possible coordination on security issues. China remains North Korea's economic lifeline, providing fuel, food, and goods that keep the state machinery functioning despite UN restrictions. In return, Beijing relies on Pyongyang as a geopolitical buffer, a thorn in Washington's strategic calculus in East Asia. Li Qiang's visit also comes amid growing concerns about North Korea's expanding nuclear program. Satellite images in recent months have revealed increased activity at Yongbyon and other test sites, sparking speculation about another potential nuclear test. Yet with China's premier on its soil, Pyongyang is expected to restrain from overt provocations, at least temporarily, to maintain the optics of unity. As the convoy carrying Li Qiang moves through Pyongyang's wide boulevards, lined with banners of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-un, the atmosphere resembles both a festival and a display of controlled power. Crowds chant rehearsed slogans, "Long live friendship," "Long live solidarity." The images broadcast by state television paint a world untouched by crisis, vibrant, organized, and eternally loyal. But beneath the grandeur, the reality is far harsher. Reports from humanitarian agencies suggest that food insecurity in North Korea has reached critical levels, with poor harvests and restricted imports pushing many regions toward famine-like conditions. Yet none of this appears on camera. Instead, Pyongyang's media frames Li Qiang's visit as a new dawn of prosperity. China, for its part, has reasons to keep the relationship afloat. With escalating tensions in the South China Sea, deteriorating US-China relations, and economic headwinds at home, Beijing is eager to project stability in its near abroad. North Korea remains a loyal, if unpredictable, partner in that narrative. In diplomatic terms, Li Qiang's arrival represents a continuation of what both nations call their blood-sealed alliance. That phrase, coined during the 1950s, remains embedded in official speeches and media broadcasts. During his visit, Li is expected to attend a joint wreath-laying ceremony at the Friendship Tower, tour cultural sites, and hold private talks with Kim Jong-un at the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun. Kim, who has largely refrained from foreign visits since 2019, is likely to seize this moment to reinforce his alignment with Beijing, a calculated move to counterbalance his deepening ties with Moscow. In recent months, North Korea's cooperation with Russia, including alleged arms supplies and technology exchanges, has drawn sharp criticism from Washington. Li Qiang's visit thus serves as a reminder that China remains Pyongyang's primary partner, even as the North diversifies its strategic relationships. The optics of the event are meticulously planned. At night, the capital glows under coordinated lighting displays, red fireworks illuminating the Taedong River. State media broadcast patriotic songs, interspersed with images of Kim Jong-un smiling alongside Li Qiang. Every frame reinforces the idea of mutual respect, of socialist brotherhood, standing firm against Western hostility. From Beijing's perspective, this trip also serves a domestic purpose. As China navigates slowing economic growth and rising youth unemployment, showcasing Li Qiang as a capable global statesman bolsters the image of the Communist Party's leadership abroad. His presence in Pyongyang allows Beijing to remind the world, and its own citizens, that it still commands influence over its neighbors. Analysts note that Li's speech during the official banquet will be closely parsed for hints about China's next moves on the Korean peninsula. Will Beijing push for renewed dialogue between Pyongyang and Washington, or will it double down on its support for Kim's self-reliance campaign? Thus far, official statements remain deliberately vague, emphasizing mutual respect, common development, and shared destiny. For Pyongyang, the anniversary marks not just history, but legitimacy. The Workers' Party of Korea was founded in 1945 and has since become synonymous with the Kim family's rule. This year's festivities, the largest since 2015, include exhibitions of industrial achievements, military parades, and cultural performances. The regime portrays the party's endurance as proof of divine guidance, claiming that under Kim Jong-un's leadership, the nation is entering a new phase of socialist modernization. Li Qiang's attendance elevates this message. By sharing the stage with Kim, he implicitly endorses that vision, offering political legitimacy from the world's second-largest power. Beijing's state broadcaster CCTV describes the visit as a testimony to the unbreakable friendship between two socialist states. In the coming days, Li is expected to deliver a speech at the anniversary ceremony, praising the Korean people's resilience and independence. The choice of words will be carefully calibrated, affirming support while avoiding direct criticism of Western powers. Beijing's strategy remains one of ambiguous alignment, close enough to reassure Pyongyang, distant enough to avoid new sanctions or diplomatic blowback. Meanwhile, the streets of Pyongyang continue to buzz with preparations. Rehearsals for the parade stretch late into the night. Giant portraits of Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and Kim Jong-un are hoisted across buildings. School children practice synchronized waving, and workers sweep the avenues leading to Kim Il-sung Square. For many North Koreans, these events serve as rare moments of collective pride, an escape from daily hardship into a world of uniform celebration. Western intelligence agencies are monitoring the visit closely. Satellite imagery shows heightened activity at military bases near Pyongyang, with convoys of vehicles believed to be transporting missile systems for display. The US and South Korea have already condemned what they call provocative displays of force, warning that North Korea's weapons parades undermine regional stability. Yet for the regime, such criticism only strengthens its narrative. In speeches aired by state television, officials proclaim that our strength is our sovereignty, framing the parade as a demonstration of defiance against imperialist pressure. In this theatre of power, Li Qiang's presence serves as a diplomatic shield, allowing Pyongyang to project legitimacy while sheltering under Beijing's strategic umbrella. As night falls, fireworks erupt over Kim Il-sung Square, reflecting off the polished helmets of soldiers standing in formation. The camera lingers on Li Qiang and Kim Jong-un, waving together from the reviewing stand. For a fleeting moment, the two leaders appear as equals, bound by ideology, history, and shared opposition to Western dominance. But as the celebrations fade, questions linger. Will this renewed alliance translate into tangible cooperation, or is it simply symbolic, a gesture of solidarity in a world of shifting loyalties? For now, both Beijing and Pyongyang seem content with the performance. In diplomacy, as in theatre, what matters most is the image projected to the audience. As Li Qiang's motorcade disappears into the Pyongyang night, the message has already been broadcast across Asia. China stands with North Korea, at least for now. Behind the handshakes and the red banners, both nations continue to navigate a fragile balance between confrontation and cooperation, between history and survival. In a world divided by power blocks and propaganda, the spectacle in Pyongyang is both a celebration and a warning, a reminder that in the politics of the Korean peninsula, every gesture, every word, and every image carries meaning far beyond the parade ground.